That was Dexter's Lab. All right, headphones line. Should we do a test? Yeah, let's do a test. Yes, hello. How we doing? Yes, hello. Perfect. All right, we're in. Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Long Shots Sportscast, Long Beach, Washington's #1 sports-related podcast, 28 weeks running. It's me, it's the, oh God, the Mike Holm. With me, as always, Brady Rucola.
What it do?
And Skylar Lovingfoss.
Yo.
And we're here. We're going to tackle week 3 in the NFL. We've got that coming. We're also going to recap Thursday Night Football. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Magic Man, was out in full force last night as the Dolphins decimated the Jaguars. We're going to cover that in full detail. We're also going to talk about the NBA playoffs and what is most likely looking to be the finals. Or can Denver do the seemingly impossible 3 times in a row?
Why not?
We're going to find that out. We've got all that and more. Brady, for real this time, is going to go head-to-head with Skip Bayless. We fucked that up last week, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're here right now. We live in the present. We don't live in the past. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing great, man. Been up early. Ready to get the show started. It's going to be a lot to talk about today.
Oh,
You got up
yes.
early. I got up about, 20 minutes ago.
Jeez.
Oh, classic Skyler. Classic.
Yeah.
No.
Rolling out of bed.
It's
all right. We're all here.
What time did I get up? Probably 11. Well, I got up at 7, had to take the dog out as per usual, and then went back to bed till about 11.
I don't know. Those late hours are kicking my ass lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot going on this morning, so...
So, let's get into... I think before we talk football, because you know football is this giant
Yeah.
chasm, let's talk basketball right now. It is looking more and more like we're going to see the Lakers and the Heat in the finals.
Yeah, the Lakers, it's looking that way. It really is. I know Denver's came back from 3-1 deficit twice now in the playoffs. Can they do it a third time? I don't know. The Lakers are a little tougher team where I feel like if they get a lead, especially with LeBron, I don't know. Can they come back from that, or are they just going to put the...
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it. LeBron and AD are certainly greater than Kawhi and Paul George.
Mm-hmm. And one of those games did come down to literally a AD buzzer beater. So it's not like they've been like creaming them. It's not like they've been blowing them out. Besides, I
They
think
blew them out one game. Yeah.
I mean,
game 1, I think it was.
This could easily be 2-2.
Easily could have
the
been.
point here, but I don't know. I think if there's a team that's going to come back from 3-1, nobody in the right mind would say it wouldn't be Denver. I think it's going to take a lot. You got to beat LA 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny. I guess the Lakers made a proposition saying that arguing that LeBron's not getting enough free throws. Really, because I think he's been getting just enough. And Jokic fouled out, and Millsap fouled out with 5 fouls. Like,
Well,
what do you?
why do you want LeBron to have more free throws?
He can't even
make them.
I know he's not even that great of a free throw.
I will say I did watch a video on this. He is surprisingly not clutch on free throws.
No,
He never really has been. It's
Like,
never really been his forte.
historically
Yeah.
not very clutch on free
Which
throws.
is kind of odd for a guy, who's the GOAT. Some people say you should be able to knock down.
And
You should be that should have been.
Look, while he's a big man, he's not like a center where you expect your center to not be good at free throws.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't be more consistent with it, especially in the playoffs, right? Especially when it counts.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it all year. We've seen it for a while now. I don't understand it. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's a thing where like a bunch of the Lakers were going up and saying like, yeah, LeBron's not getting the foul calls. He's not getting the free throws.
I mean, frankly speaking, I just think that they don't get the foul calls to him because they don't want to argue with him for 20 minutes. But
Well, I mean, in that case, they should. I mean,
especially when the Lakers are up 20, and then it's like, okay, bud, okay, we get it.
So I thought that was kind of whatever. But as far as like the officiating is going, I mean, I think it's pretty fair. I mean, it doesn't look like they're taken to one side.
Better
The
than
series
the
has been
Blazers
has actually been pretty good. Like there was one blowout game, the rest have been like pretty close.
Let's go.
I'm excited to
Nuggets.
see this next game. It's gonna be, I don't know, like part of me feels like the Lakers are just really gonna fucking push the gas pedal and just not let off the throttle. But Denver, they got a dog in them that we've seen it time and time again. Jamal Murray gets hot, he wants it. Jokic, he does his thing. Michael Porter Jr., he needs to step up a little more.
Yeah.
And really capitalize like on the turnovers and that. And I think their defense is doing pretty good against the Lakers, honestly.
Well, and like we saw in Game 3, I mean, Jamal Murray, the stat line didn't tell you the full truth there. Jamal Murray's forcing a lot of turnovers, and I'll be honest, they didn't capitalize on all of them. You wouldn't know it by what the score was, but I saw a lot of missed
I know they did.
opportunities.
I know they did though a lot more than the Lakers. I think at one point in the game, the stat line was like points on turnovers. LA had 12, and Denver had like 23.
Right.
So they were definitely doing like half as more.
Oh yeah.
So they were, but this last game, it wasn't happening for them.
I will say,
LA was playing some pretty good defense last night too. It was from what I was seeing, especially down the stretch. I mean, it was like turnover after turnover. LA getting steals. Rondo showed up and played. Show us what he's about. I think he passed Scottie Pippen last night for all-time assists in the playoffs.
I mean, I could look like a fool this time next week, but I think it's the writing's on the wall here. I think it's obviously going to be Lakers and Heat in the finals.
And you gotta be kidding yourself if you didn't think the Lakers
were going to make it in the first place. The minute they signed AD, game over, right?
Like you knew they were going this far, and they probably were taking it.
I will say, though, nobody could have called Miami. We knew Miami was going to make the playoffs. I don't think anybody thought they were going to make the finals. I think everybody...
they haven't yet.
I think everybody, as far as for sure. Boston's a squad, but...
I don't think anybody saw them going to the conference finals.
They've handled Boston so well, though.
They have.
But don't count Boston out. I mean, Jason Tatum, he was cold the first half of this last game, and then he got real hot in the second. Mm-hmm. Just imagine if he was hot the whole game, Boston might have taken this game. Kemba Walker, don't count him out.
What I like about both these squads is that, I mean, they both have just a raw, organic chemistry. These are two teams that they can develop players extremely well.
Oh yeah.
The Lakers don't develop players very good.
No.
The Lakers, they don't. I mean, this is a squad
necessarily
that
need to either.
They have the biggest market share in the NFL or in the NBA. They can be buoyed off of luring the biggest and the best stars with these lucrative contracts, and then you get the younger people because they're like, well, shit, I want to play with LeBron. Yeah. I want to play with AD. Or LeBron sees these kids and goes,
I could use you.
I want to use him. I want to play with him. Whereas Miami, while they do have a bigger share.
They're a bunch of underdogs, man.
There are a bunch of underdogs, but over the last couple of years, they are. I mean, they've got their big guy in Jimmy Butler. All right, I obtained an item in Pokemon.
Nice.
They've got their bigger star in Jimmy Butler, but all around him, that's all young, developed.
And here's the thing about
talent.
Jimmy Butler, and he came out and said too, like, I don't need to score 40 points a game. I just need to point us in the right direction, make the right decisions.
Yeah,
and you've been seeing that more and more, and I think that's part of their success.
That's where I think they're better than Boston is. Everybody knows their roles. I don't think that Kemba and Tatum quite know their role enough to not be every play going, I want the ball. I want the ball.
Although you do need that guy who's assertive, kind of like LeBron that I was seeing last night. He finally showed me, okay, I'm gonna take it. Yeah. I'm gonna be assertive, and it was working for him. I think he scored like 3 or 4 in a row.
The LeBron that a lot of people said should have been seen in Game 1 against the Blazers.
Yes,
remember,
you weren't seeing it. He was just kind of laid back.
He had that triple-double, that historic triple-double, and everybody said, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember it because
and nobody really did.
He went ahead and was selfless and let Caldwell Pope and Danny Green whiff every fucking shot.
That was miserable.
I mean, it made them look. I mean, that's where everybody was like, well, this could go maybe it's the Blazers.
Like, the only other time I've seen a performance that bad was, I don't remember which playoff series it was. Kobe did that for a game to make a point that he was the best scorer on the team. He was the only scorer on the team. Is he purposefully? I think he only took 3 shots or something like that in a half, and he went out of his way to pass, and everybody bricked shots all day.
Yeah. So back to my point is, LeBron, he needs to keep doing that, and I think he will. And he finally came out, and it's crunch time now. But between Miami and the Celtics, I guess what I was saying is, like, Tatum, he needs to be assertive, and when he is, he's pretty hot. But also, like Skylar was saying, like, I don't think they actually all know their roles like Miami does. Miami has, like, one of the best chemistries I've seen on a team. Like, everybody.
Look at a guy like Goran Dragic, who was. You saw him on the Suns, and where else did he play prior to Miami?
I can't think off the top of my head.
Anyway, you see him on the Suns, right, as a young player, and you go, God, he's got potential, but he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
You put him on this Heat team, he is such, you can tell, like, Jimmy Butler's a leader. You can tell Goran Dragic's got to be, like, second in command over there. He's able to really steer the ship. And then you got the rook.
Tyler Hero.
Kendrick Nunn has been playing very good as well. Duncan
Hero's
Robinson
been really impressive me. He had like 36 points. The other night.
Hero, we were gonna know as kind of the rookie, but you look at these guys like Duncan Robinson. I didn't know that guy's name this time a year ago. You know, the Heat are awesome at developing this young talent. Bam Adebayo,
undrafted talent. Some of them.
Bam Adebayo is one of the most fun players to watch in the NBA right now.
Adebayo.
And then you look at Boston. They have Kemba, but outside of that, they
got Tatum. He's a stud.
No, that's not my point. My point is, Kemba, not quite as big a star as Jimmy Butler, but still very good. A solid A-, B+ player, veteran leader who has never made it this far. He's been on a shitty Hornets/Bobcats team that's only had one or two playoff berths in his time there.
I think that's one of the only reasons.
Outside of him, that whole rest of that team is homegrown.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, who got really good really fast. Way better than anybody thought he would be right now. You've got Jaylen Brown, who's been playing. He's been playing really good. Yeah. Marcus Smart, who could barely shoot a ball a year ago,
and now he's
2 years
banging
ago.
Threes left and right.
He's one of their most reliable shooters on the court, and he's such a fun guy to watch. That is a homegrown team. You've got your veteran presence that
you got Gordon Hayward
and Gordon Hayward and Kemba that you've kind of nabbed from other teams. But this team got stronger by developing its talent. Everybody, the big mystery, the one thing that was baffling me was that they got way better
and losing
Al Horford, losing Kyrie Irving.
That's the big one, because Kyrie is debatably the best point guard.
Remember, when Kyrie left Cleveland, this was supposed to be his Celtics. He was supposed to usher in a whole new era of Boston basketball. Yeah. And it never quite got out of the starting gate the way everybody thought it should.
And then there was some drama around there too, which didn't help anything. But I just don't think it was a good fit.
It wound up not a good fit, and it wound up being a bit of a smudge on the guy's career.
Yep.
Now
it is.
And now Boston is coming out of it. I mean, they're not out of this series by any means. We've seen 2 3-1 comebacks. They're not out of this series.
I mean, we've seen both teams lead by 20-something points and come back.
Even if this is as far as they go this year, they're going to be good next year too. Same with Miami. They're both going to be right. They should be right back in it.
Yeah.
Toronto's going to be all right, but they're losing a lot of people in free agency. Serge Ibaka, notably.
We don't know what's happening
Fred VanVleet.
We don't know if they're losing him, if they're going to sign a big contract.
Right. So they're losing 2 of their starting 5.
Siakam's
right
there,
off
though,
the bat.
for a while, right?
Yeah. Siakam's still their, probably their best player, but they're losing.
Well, debatably, he played like shit in the playoffs.
That's true. They're losing 2 of their starting 5. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The Bucks, Giannis, that whole situation. Nobody knows a thing about.
I'm hearing
what's
more and
happen.
more that it's just rumors like Giannis wants to stay there. But I don't know. Nobody knows.
Well, of course he
Somebody
does.
knows.
Of course he does. He wants the Supermax.
He wants the what?
the Supermax contract. They're the only ones that can give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either going to be, you're going to know real quick if he, and you could look at it one of two ways. If he wants the money, and if he truly, part of that's going to be if he truly believes that they can get right back in it with Milwaukee, he'll stay.
Why couldn't they?
But if he's going to be like LeBron, or even Durant, and he wants to get that championship monkey off his back,
is he going to be like? Is he going to be like LeBron, or is he going to be like Dame?
Right.
Exactly. You want to get it on your own, or you want some help?
Right. Then that's exactly it. If that championship burden is so huge and it's that much of a monkey on his back,
pull a KD or LeBron, or
he'll leave.
Whatever.
They'll trade him. They'll get a lucrative package for him. Whatever the hell they've got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the East. I mean, the other two of the top 4 seeds, they're up in the air. Pacers, we don't know what's going to happen with them. They're going to have a new coach. So we're not entirely sure there.
I like the team.
Brooklyn's going to be tough.
I was just going to say, Brooklyn is going to be like, I wouldn't even call it dark horse next year. They're just going to be so good.
They're going to
be raw. I cannot wait.
Vegas odds should have Brooklyn taking, especially, I would say regardless if Giannis...
They got to be like the toughest team in the East next year.
Regardless if Giannis stays.
Yeah.
Vegas odds have got to have Brooklyn getting number 1 seed next year.
They got
easy.
Kyrie, KD,
DeAndre
Jordan,
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Well, I mean, look what that team did without those guys this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're learning from these guys too.
Karis LeVert, I mean, he's great. Yeah.
I would love him in Portland.
So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Right now, I mean, I could look like a total fool this time next week. Right now, it's looking like it's Lakers Heat.
I think 99% of people would probably say that.
Probably. But we'll see what happens. We're all going to be looking forward to it, watching these games, and
I would like it
seeing
extended.
how it goes.
I'd like it to go to 7, and then whatever happens. But I mean, that's a long shot for Denver. Like I said, the Lakers, it's a different team than the Pacers and the Clippers.
But I'll tell you what, man. I mean,
talk about the Clippers a little bit. I mean, shit, man.
Do we have to?
I don't think so because.
Here's the thing: the Clippers, they're in a bad way.
Paul George, I hear rumors he's.
So contract-wise, they have Paul George for another year. They've got Kawhi for another year. Here's the issue. What's his name? Montrezl Harrell. I kept wanting to say Markelle Fultz, which is so stupid. Montrezl Harrell is a free agent.
Yes.
And they have another free agent this year too. I think it's Zubac, but don't quote me on that. But you're talking about the reigning 6th man of the year is going to be a free agent. There's a lot of question marks going into this team. You have virtually no draft picks through 2024. You may have like a second rounder somewhere in there, but you threw all of that at Oklahoma City to get Paul George. Oklahoma City's looking pretty fucking good the next 5 years.
According to Paul George, this wasn't a championship or bust year. It's let's get the chemistry going. I guess he was getting a lot of eye rolls and whatever from other players.
He's probably getting eye rolls in the locker room because
they lost a lot of respect for him if they even had any.
He's not ingratiated himself to that team
at all.
I think he probably rode in on a white pony, acting like he's the shit, and
then what'd we see?
Right
when it came playoff time, what'd we see? Brick.
Yeah, Shaq started calling him way off P.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Which is
Where
great.
did he even get that nickname? Like when he was with the Pacers?
Playoff?
Yeah,
team?
like
I assume so.
Because like that's the last time I saw him actually be.
I don't
raw.
recall. I mean, the Pacers haven't been like. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
I remember.
Dude. Like, him and Roy Hibbert and all that other shit. Here's the thing. But Oklahoma City looks good. Even when you factor, Chris Paul probably isn't going to be there a very long time. But you look at who they have. Steven Adams, Lou Dort, who came on and played very good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him a lot. Dennis Schroeder,
Schroeder's good.
He was in the running for 6th man of the year this year. I'm probably missing a big ass name here, but that's a great team. Now you look at they've got a boatload of picks in the next.
They're only going to get better.
They're only going to get better. I mean, odds are they probably flip Chris Paul for some more assets, but they're going to be one of the youngest, brightest teams. You give Shea another year, that they're going to be something special.
Now that we're talking OKC, what's going to happen with the Rockets? They're pretty much fucked, right? Like
Here's the thing.
What can they do? What can they do at this point?
The question is, do they add somebody or do they try to flip Russell Westbrook for somebody else?
Because James Harden's a lifer, right?
Do you look? Oh, he's got to be.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: do you look at Harden and Westbrook and go, and your other, Eric Gordon and the rest of your team, and sit there and go, okay?
Honestly, after watching this year, I don't think Westbrook's a good fit there.
I don't think so either.
It just doesn't.
I said that last year. I didn't think that. What in the hell are they doing?
It does not mesh well.
Harden and Westbrook couldn't get along in OKC.
It was a big thing too. Both these guys, there's like memes and stuff about okay, it's gonna be a contest who can dribble the ball longer. Like these guys don't like.
Well,
there's just
Harden said they're a piece away, which means that if he has his rathers, they'll keep Westbrook and they'll try to just tack on someone else to help them out. Frankly speaking,
what the fuck did Westbrook do in the playoffs?
I think they should trade Russ for somebody.
They need to, because he did not. I don't care what he did during the season. He did not do a goddamn thing during the playoffs. He looked like crap. And that's not even me being a Westbrook hater. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but he did not every shot that he took, I was confident that it wasn't going in, and usually it didn't.
So here's
how
the question.
many times in the playoffs has he looked good?
He chokes, especially in God. When it comes down to final shots and stuff like that too. Do not let that man have the ball.
Here's the question.
I mean, he did it in the Blazers series last year. He was terrible.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Is there a chance that maybe Houston and another team that is similar to them in the East that is struggling, that should be better than they are, Philly, is there a shot that maybe...
Well, they want Ben Simmons, or...
That's the thing. Maybe you do some lucrative deal where... You send Westbrook, maybe you get Simmons, maybe another team gets involved and flips a piece, and you do a big
3-team trade or something.
That'd be smart of Houston. At least you're getting a guy that can't shoot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ben
right. I mean, right. Why not, right?
You're getting a guy to play defense.
I mean, maybe if they could get
because here's the thing.
I would take Embiid over Simmons, but I don't think that'll happen.
I think everybody would, but here's the thing. Philly has to know the Embiid and Simmons experiment is over.
It's done.
Houston should...
I mean, I know they didn't have Simmons in the playoffs.
Houston should nip the new Thunder in the bud. They absolutely should. The question is, for Philly, do you keep the better player knowing that he's injury prone and that he may not last as long as Simmons?
Rebuild, or
do you trade Embiid and try to build around Simmons, or do you just trade them both and nuke your squad?
I don't think you nuke the squad.
I don't think so.
I think they're, as much as I'm making fun of Ben Simmons, there's something there.
Yeah.
He just needs to get...
He's an all-star. I mean, he's not an all-star for no reason.
No, he needs to get his shot down, especially that three-pointer. He's afraid of that three.
Yeah.
But how long's the guy been in the league? How have you not
that long.
About 5 years.
5 years? And you ain't got a shot yet?
I mean, yeah.
How do you even make it without a shot?
I'm pretty sure 5 years anyway.
Yeah, but
But he missed his rookie year. Remember that.
And you do not get rid of Embiid unless you're getting something good.
Okay, you missed your rookie year?
Yeah, that's right. Because I remember that. I remember that because they were like, well, technically this is his sophomore year. Technically that is his rookie year.
You were rehabbing half that year because you're injured then, right?
Yeah.
So he's a two-time All-Star.
You can't figure out how to shoot while you're rehabbing?
It's not that he can't shoot. He can't shoot threes, dude. He's just really lackluster at threes. He just can't. He can't do. I guess he was seeing a therapist and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The threes are in his fucking head.
Literally in his head. If he can get
maybe.
Like, seriously, like this is serious. This is a true story.
So the 76ers are informing teams they're open to trade talks if D'Antoni is hired. That's going to be interesting. Somebody also
Well, they're definitely doing something with that squad this year. I just don't know.
NBA Analysis Network, they have a 76ers Knicks trade to send Ben Simmons to New York.
Gross.
Let's read.
That's where he belongs.
Why is that gross? Because Melo's going to end up there.
So here's the thing.
We can't pay him.
This is the idea.
No.
Knicks get Ben Simmons. 76ers get RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Dennis Smith Jr., 2020 number 8 overall pick, 2022 first round pick, and a 2020 second round pick from Charlotte. Why do I feel like that would just ravage the Knicks?
You know, you say Melo's going Knicks. I heard rumors. Why would he want to go back there?
Because we can't pay him,
He
Brady.
didn't like it there anyway.
We don't have any money to pay anybody.
So what do you think the Blazers are going to do
Here's
this
the thing.
offseason?
With Carmelo,
What are we going to do?
I don't feel like Carmelo is going to have a bigger role on any other squad than he does right now.
I don't think he is either. And he said, like, this, I found a home here, but we don't know what he's thinking as far as money, right? Say the Knicks, offer him, I don't know,
I'm sorry, but look.
a little more than we do.
At his age,
I know.
in that point of his career,
But this guy's got shit going on the side, too.
I'm sorry. You know what?
if the Lakers offered me money,
You think the Lakers are going to pick Melo up? Maybe.
And I was just going to say,
Maybe.
that's when I
You think the Clippers?
No, but that's when I think it would be okay. I would be okay.
Hey, you think Houston, they're missing piece?
No.
No.
But I think at Carmelo's age, that's when I feel like it's okay, and I'd be okay with him if he went and chased a ring.
here's the thing.
These young guys chasing rings, if Giannis leaves to go chase a ring,
But you gotta look at guys
goes
more.
to a Golden State,
You got to look at the guy's moral character and what they are about.
Yeah.
I feel like Melo. I want him to get a ring too, and he is buddies with LeBron, so
Yeah,
he could easily go to the Lakers, right?
he could go to the Lakers and sit on the bench all next year and get a
Easily.
ring.
But here's the
But
thing.
I don't think that's what he wants to do.
I feel like if he could have,
I think he wants to.
It would have
would've.
happened.
It would have
already.
happened, right?
I guarantee you, if LeBron had asked him to be on the Lakers, he would have done it.
I bet you
I
that
don't think LeBron
conversation.
even
I bet you
asked.
that conversation. I think it might have came up.
Either that, or he wanted to be play a bigger role. He
or-
didn't. He
I
didn't
think
want
he wants to. Because here's what Melo needed to do. Melo needed to prove himself. He's not going to go out like that. He's not going to go out like I'm just some washed up veteran on the bench riding for a ring.
He didn't want
And
to.
I don't think he still wants.
He
to.
didn't want to Dwight Howard this ring.
No, and I think he wanted to challenge his buddy LeBron like he
Very
did in the
well could.
playoffs, and wants to get it like that, just like Dame. And I think him and Dame, I guess, they came closer. They became closer, and I think that he said he's never seen a better leader, better teammate than Dame. And then after the season was over, whatever, take it as you want. He said, I think I found a home here in Portland. Now, I know we don't have money, but is money everything to Melo? Is a ship everything to Melo, like an automatic ring?
Yeah,
I
but
don't think he's a guy like that.
He's also not going to play for what he played for this year.
No, I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, I'm thinking
who
the Blazers really need to take a seat, and I'm sure they already are, and evaluate the team and what we need to improve on. Is Melo going to be another fit? Because I think Melo came up clutch for us so many times this season.
The question,
so many times, man,
the
especially in
question
the
with
bubble.
Here's the thing about the Blazers: you don't have a ton of money. You're losing a few guys in free agency.
Yep.
Melo, I'm pretty sure Rodney Hood, Hazonia.
We don't know Melo yet.
No, we got Hood.
We don't know if we're
I'm
losing
pretty sure
Melo.
we locked Hood down.
It's not that
last
you're
year,
losing
didn't
him, but they're going to be free agents.
Oh, you were saying we're losing guys in free agency, and then you went on to say
They're going to be free agents. Melo, Hazonia, and I believe you guys have like one or two more. Ariza. and-
CJ. No, he's not.
No, CJ's
no, he's
locked
still
up.
got the contract.
The question is with the Blazers, given that you don't have a ton of money,
Okay, I don't really care for.
your draft
Okay.
your draft picks aren't going to be anything
No.
too special because it's This is the thing.
Hezonja can fuck off. Nobody cares. Every Portland fan out there would tell you to get him out of here anyway, so that's not even losing anything.
Listen, they both have a play. Rodney Hood and Hezonja both have a player option. So assuming that they take that player option and they stay.
Hood's going to stay. I know that.
He should.
Our free agents are Hassan Whiteside.
Whiteside.
And that was his big contract year.
That's the big
Gabriel
one.
And Melo.
Gabriel's really young. I like how he played in a couple of games, and then he just got too sloppy with fouling way too early.
But this is where player development comes in handy here. I could see Gabriel seemed like a guy that Stotts really liked.
I liked
him.
It's gonna be on developing him to be a better defender because
I like the kid.
The tools are there. I feel like you guys would keep him, but the big burning question is it time for Portland to trade CJ?
Yep, we've been talking about this.
Is it time to flip CJ and get some assets?
Since our run in the bubble was over, I feel like we've been talking about
throw a little something at the wall here.
Here's the thing, man.
As fans, me and Brady we've talked about this. As much as we don't like it, and we love CJ.
I mean, trust me, that'd be like asking me if the Warriors were in the Blazers spot, it'd be like saying, "Boy, it's a time to move off Klay Thompson now, guys."
It could be.
It might be.
We could see a CJ Klay Thompson trade.
Here's the thing.
I love Klay, but I like CJ too.
I don't want CJ going anywhere. The only thing with CJ is he's a defensive liability, and he's too small.
Yeah.
As far as defense goes, offense, he's a shark. He's a killer. He's cold-blooded.
But that is part of our problem, is how small we are on defense.
Defense is our issue. That's point blank. Mm-hmm. We can shoot lights out. We can shoot more points than any other team in the NBA. I strongly believe that if we are on. Defensively, we're weak. Well, now Stotts needs to come up with a plan on how we are going to balance the offense and the defense.
That's where a CJ Ben Simmons trade could come in.
And that's where the CJ thing scares me, because I don't want to see him go, but at the same time, we need to do something else. Somebody needs to come in and play D. Yeah. Or we need to figure out a way. I don't know. Because I don't want to lose him. I think he is a very great asset. He's won us so many games in clutch moments. Without CJ this year in the bubble, we would not have moved on to get that 8th seed.
But Lillard struggled.
Yep. And CJ, and that's the thing that I like about, they contrast each other so well, where one of them's off, the other one takes care of them.
But that's what works.
And when they're both on, it's like
that's what worked so well in the Kobe Shaq Laker days.
Yeah.
If Kobe was off, Shaq picked it up.
And that's why I don't want to see them split, because there is such a great contrast there, and they know each other so well. The chemistry is so perfect.
This is the question of whether or not you eventually are going to really have to move on from Stotts.
That's my other thing I want to bring up.
He seems to be a good coach. However, outside of your superstars and some budding talent in a guy like Zach Collins, where's the development at?
Yep.
Where are all the young stars filling your bench? Where's Nasir Little? Where's you're seeing a little bit in Anthony Simmons, but
that whole thing was weird.
You can't Nasir.
He got like this weird.
That's rough because this is his rookie season, and there was a break in the middle.
No, what happened was in the bubble, there was this. I guess he got like dehydrated, and this was like very early on, and dehydrated like before the playoffs.
Yeah,
and he needed like medical attention and that, like breathing problems and stuff, and then nobody heard anything else.
And then even aside from him though, like Anthony Simmons.
Yeah, where's the development with that guy? Because he was turning it up during the regular season before the COVID.
He has a couple games where you're like, that's the future, and then he disappears. And
now is that the player? Is that the coach? Is it both?
I mean, it's got to be some of the blame has to go on.
How many years has Anthony been here?
Not very long. It's
been a few, but
third year.
Aside from guys like Zion and these superstars coming out of college, it takes a guy 3 to 4 years to get to a level of a starting superstar. So we're still so young in their careers.
I know.
with Nasir and Anthony.
I mean, Anthony's probably 21, 22. I mean, there's still time.
I tell you what, I love Anthony. He ain't afraid to go up against anybody and stuff it.
Oh, and actually, I will say, Gary Trent Jr. is another guy that is going to be. He's going to be great.
Here's the thing: we were all super impressed with him. I was convinced that he was the best shooter in the NBA in the whole world at one point.
Pre-playoffs. Then the playoffs came in,
but
and he
was missing. He was missing shots, but he also did come up clutch. On a lot of these stretches down the stretch. I'm going to defend
him too. And this, I sound like a real Blazers.
You don't need to hit every one,
but how many playoff games has that guy played in?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Different kind of basketball.
I'm telling you,
watch Anthony, out. For Nasir.
What I'm saying about Gary Trent Jr., it's not that he's not developing. He's one of the few that I mean. Dame and CJ are developed. They're superstars. Zach Collins has a lot
to work on.
Very raw, but he has a lot of potential.
He needs to be healthy for a full season.
You can tell he can be a big deal. Obviously, Nurk doesn't count because he played overseas.
Dude's developed.
So he was developed by the time he got here. It's the two guys that are kind of Gary Trent, he's getting there.
Oh yeah,
he needs some more time in high pressure situations to see how he really goes off.
How old is Trent?
He's 23, 24.
Yeah, he's a young gun.
And then Anthony Simmons. Aside from that, I mean,
he needs to see more playing time. He should have been He should have been having more minutes. I feel
they got to be fleshing out the bench a little more. You got to give Simmons more minutes. And part of that is because they do choose to use that height. You had 3 7-footers. They do like to bring in that big ball. It's just a case of maybe needing to flesh out your bench a little bit more and giving some of these guys a little bit more time. It's like hockey.
Yep.
Okay. And baseball to a degree. Semi-pro hockey players have to play with the pros to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to get anywhere just sitting and playing summer league all the damn time.
Gotta take a jump. Just jump.
You have to sometimes you just got to throw a guy out there. It's like rookies in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, some guys you got to sit them. In the case of a guy like Justin Herbert, fuck it.
Show me what you got, kid.
No notice. All the pressure in the world, throw him out there. Yeah, we didn't win the game, but he played fucking great.
Edwards-Helaire.
He went toe-to-toe.
Edwards-Helaire for Kansas City. Lit it up.
It's as the saying goes, James Robinson in Jacksonville, who's having a great season so far.
Yes, it was Miami, but even before that, he's been doing great.
So it's like the saying goes, sharks are born swimming.
Yep. Exactly that.
So let's move on to football now. We've had a lot. That was probably our deepest basketball discussion in a fair minute.
Yeah.
Moving on to football, Thursday night football. Ryan Fitzmagic, ladies and gentlemen. He came out and dazzled everybody with just a tour de force showdown.
A perfect game.
He went 12 for 12 on his first shots. Downfield, the Jaguars defense looked tired. Miles Jack was over it. You could tell every penalty, every pass interference. C.J. Henderson had a couple of bad pass interference calls.
Just blatant.
They did lose a player to injury though, and they got a player ejected.
And what is up with Fitzpatrick's helmet? Is his head just that long that the helmet doesn't fit right?
Yeah, it's the beard. The beard adds.
His head's that long.
So Fitzpatrick here. The yardage isn't going to blow you away, but 18 for 21, 60 and 2. Myles Gaskin, 22 for 66 and no scores. Rip if you played him in fantasy. Although he did get you 12, so whatever if you're in half-point PPR. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 7 for 38 and another touchdown on the ground. And Jordan Howard with a typical Jordan Howard stat line, 3 carries, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. Fucking cheers. And Mike Gesicki, 1 for 15 and a touchdown. I really wanted him to get another one, but
that's decent for a tight end.
Well, he should have, but he got that.
He got that PI
in the end zone.
That was robbed.
I called that too. Me and Tyler were sitting there watching. And I go, they're on the one, and I go, Gesicki.
Yeah.
I'm really pissed that happened too because
dude's got hops. He would have got that.
I don't know who it was that PI'd him, but I've got a vendetta against him, courtesy of my fantasy team.
So blatant too. It was just.
And why do it? Because you know what they're gonna do next, right?
Preston Williams
go up
with
and
a
actually
touchdown,
make a play at it.
And then, of course, Kamu Grugier-Hill with a sack. Kyle Van Noy with a sack, which I believe was a forced fumble as well. Zach Seiler and Manuel Ogba with sacks as well, and Andrew Van Ginkel, nice name, with a sack. Xavier Howard with an interception. Gardner Minshew was doing his damnedest, but man, it just wasn't enough. 30 for 42, 275, 0 TDs, 1 interception. James Robinson, 11 for 46, and 2 on the ground, while also reeling in 6 balls for 83 yards.
So, in other words, a fantasy nightmare, and I'm pissed.
James Robinson,
Gardner Minshew
might have put me away this week.
Who?
I was well up on Adam, like should have won, and James Robinson made this match.
Adam made the good call there
James Robinson,
by starting him.
James Robinson got you almost 28 points this week if you played him in a half-point PPR format. My brother has him
to go
in
lights
my
out
league.
if you're going to beat Adam.
Yeah.
He's good
So,
this year.
Here's the thing. Jaguars, one of their
He had
offense.
terrible matchups, but that James Robinson just brought it to a 50-50 chance of whether I'm going to win or not.
You never know. You never know.
Jaguars, one of their offensive linemen did get ejected. There was a fumble at the bottom of the pile. Referee goes to go separate him, and he kind of shoves the referee's arm away. I believe it's Robinson, number 74. So not good when you lose a lead blocker like that.
And
on
here's
your
the
O-line.
thing. That's kind of a controversial call
It
because
was. I didn't agree with it.
he more than likely did not know that was even the ref. Didn't know who it was, and that big of a deal. It seems like the ref just kind of got his feelings involved into it, and just I get it, but I don't think that's enough reason to eject a player. Maybe give a penalty or something. I don't know. That's not enough reason to eject a player.
I will say though, Jaguars, we're feeling the pain from not having DJ Shark. Keelan Cole 4 for 43, Chris Thompson 5 for 35, Chris Conley 3 for 34, Laviska Shenault Jr. 5 for 33, James O'Shaughnessy 3 for 29, Dede Westbrook 1 for 4.
Did he? I didn't even know he played.
I didn't know either until I saw number 12 out there. 3 years ago I was a big time Dede Westbrook truther. Now
Last year
I don't know what to think.
I drafted him.
But yeah, not good. Josh Allen had a sack on the game, so I mean, at least somebody had a good game. Miles Jack 7 tackles, but aside from that, I mean, the Jaguars just weren't good. This is the Jaguars that I know.
Yeah.
This is the Jaguars.
This is the Jaguars we all expected
It's like
this year.
it's like SpongeBob. He's like, now that sounds like Robot Pirate Island.
Yeah.
No, that looks like the
that's the
Jaguars.
guy.
That looks like the 2020 Jaguars.
Yeah.
Not good. Not
and
good.
we all drank the Kool-Aid, like Mike said.
Yeah.
So Dolphins, they will play the Seahawks next week. So they have a tall order. And the Jaguars, they will get maybe a bit of a break, or maybe Joe Burrow's first win when they play the Bengals.
Ooh, that's gonna be another crap bowl.
Yeah, boy, cat teams, am I right? Wait a minute, all the cat teams suck. Lions, Jaguars, Bengals, and Panthers are all terrible.
It's a bad year to be a cat.
Jaguars are the only one with a win out of the cat teams.
That's funny.
Dude, that's awful, man. Whatever.
They're the coolest cat.
They're the cooliest. It's that invisible clarinet
We
thing.
do need to touch on the fact that it sounds like the Pac-12 is going to play this fall.
Pac-12 is coming back. They will start up in November. Yeah. So, moving on, we will do Week 3 picks. But before we do that, it's time for our segment.
Breakers, bus.
What are we gonna call? Well, no, I breakers, upsets, and bus, which abbreviates to bub, and I can't figure out a good way to use bub. So anyway, I gotta think of something Wolverine related or something. We'll get it. We'll get it. Anyway, breakers, upsets, and bus. Breakers. Anybody want to start me off?
Breakers. I'm going with Noah Fant this week. He's been climbing the charts as far as tight ends go from week to week. Mm-hmm. Moving on to week 3, playing Tampa. I know Tampa's secondary. They've only allowed, I don't even think they've allowed really touchdowns as far as passing goes. Too deep, but to tight ends as far as that goes. So Yeah, it seems like not such a good matchup on paper, but Noah Fant has been impressing me. You got Cortland Sutton out for the season. You got Drew Lock, who's, out. So, I saw Noah Fant playing with Driscoll, and they seem to have a little chemistry there. With really, you got one of your best receivers on the team not playing now. Mm-hmm. That just tells you Fant's going to see a lot more targets. I think he is going to have a great game against Tampa Bay. That game could really go either way. But Noah Fant, he'd be my breaker.
Your breaker. Okay. Now, last week, let me review who our breakers were. He had Jonnu Smith, and he was right on the money.
Yeah.
I had Brandon Ayuk, not so much. And who was your breaker?
Who did I
You
have
said
it?
Stephon Diggs, and then you changed it.
Yeah, no, I said Stephon Diggs, then I said
Samir,
why can I not remember?
Not gonna work here anymore anyway.
No, it didn't. You said Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah. And then you brought up another one. It doesn't matter. It's dumb.
Watch last episode.
My breaker
Yeah, boy.
this week. I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert. I think he's gonna have a huge game.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling you guys both chose the same breaker.
No, I have a different breaker.
Oh really?
Wow.
Yeah, I but same team.
Okay.
So, Justin Herbert, man, he played exceedingly well against the Chiefs. Now we get to see what he can do against a defense made extra special by a 4-year-old with paper mache, mommy. That defense is so fucking bad. They allow a train to just kind of run through. They would let a fat guy through. Not good. Not good. So... yeah, I want to see Justin Herbert carve these guys up. And on a similar note, my breaker for this game is going to be wide receiver number 3 for the Chargers, Mr. Jalen Guyton. Not the only. So Herbert was not the only guy to get his first touchdown on against the Chiefs. Jalen Guyton was it well. He ran a spectacular fade route in the end zone to pick his up, and Herbert dialed him up right on the money. I just feel like in a game where you're going to have the secondary is going to get tested at every turn. Obviously, Keenan Allen's going to reel in some balls. Obviously, Mike Williams is going to have a deep catch or two. Hunter Henry is going to be there, but Jalen Guyton looks to be a speedy little end zone threat.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put him out in fantasy, but in terms of just a football spectacle, I like the idea of him having another good game and maybe a touchdown as he develops into a worthy wide receiver 3 prospect.
Okay.
So upsets.
My upset of the week.
Wait. What about bus?
Yeah, BUB. Breakers, upsets, and bums.
I didn't tell you what my bust was.
We're
doing bums last.
Oh.
Yeah, new format.
New format.
I tweaked the format a little bit.
I wasn't paying attention, Mike.
It's all right. Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
My
So
upset of the week.
Okay.
My upset of the week. Are you going?
Yep.
Okay.
As much as I hate to say this,
Oh my god.
I've got Dallas over Seattle. We played terrible against Dallas. We have for years.
Let's recap our upsets real quick. You guys had Jacksonville over Tennessee,
Which almost came.
Yeah.
which almost happened, and then I had Washington over Arizona, which had no shot. So you're going Dallas over Seattle. Interesting, because your logic is that
We
Seattle
play bad against
doesn't
Dallas.
play good against Dallas.
Yeah.
But there's a new
Click it.
game plan this year. You know that, right? They're letting Russell cook. Russell sat down with the team, with the coaches, and said, "I want to run the offense my way." And look how good it's been.
It's going to be a good game because both teams are riding high.
No, because
Dallas is riding high off that win.
40 mil is gonna play like $40 on Sunday. I'm telling you,
Okay.
Dak Prescott is not gonna do well.
Okay, I'm not.
That should have been my bum of the week.
Go ahead, Brady, with your
but it's
upset.
not. So my upset against two crap teams right now. Really, I'm saying Cincy's taking it over Philly because Philly is not having a good year.
Yeah, I've got
Carson Wentz is having a midlife crisis. He's really going through menopause right now.
He's looking like garbage.
I mean,
Yeah.
And that O-line's looking like garbage.
When you're in your 5th year as a quarterback like that, and you're regressing, not progressing,
Well,
that's a problem.
I mean,
That's a huge problem.
He's only played, what, one season worth of games in his career in 5 years?
And it's starting to show. This guy, I'm pretty sure Philly fans are starting to get angry with him too. So, and I think Joe Burrow, I feel like he's getting better every game. I feel like getting a little more confident. Yeah, he makes a little mistakes here, as rookies do.
Yep.
But I'm confident that he's going to come into this game confident, and I think he's going to throw for 280, maybe even 300 yards against Philly.
I've got Cincy winning that game as well.
Yeah, so that would be my upset of the week.
My upset of the week. See, the one that I feel like should be classified as an upset technically isn't an upset because of the... no, I guess it is by Vegas standards. Mm-hmm. I've got the Bears over the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are in the midst of a season-long tailspin. I feel like Dan Quinn may wind up fired by the end of this season.
If they don't win like at least like the next 3 games, he's in trouble.
Their offense is throwing for a shitload. Their running game is virtually non-existent, and that'll come back up here in a second. Mm-hmm. Their defense is one of the worst I've seen in terms of their secondary. They have not addressed any of their needs. Obviously, they're often injury-riddled. Keanu Neal is back, but it's not made much of a difference. They drafted corner and A.J. Terrell, who has been kind of good, but not really. I don't know. You look at that, and then you look at the fact that Desmond Trufant is long gone. He's in Detroit, where they're slumming it up.
Where he belongs.
They just didn't. They don't have it right now. Their offense is going to put up a boatload of points. Their defense is not. When you're up 20 and you blow that big of a lead and you don't even turn over the ball, that's a problem.
Mike, what's that old saying? Defense wins games.
Defense wins championships.
Wins championships, right?
And here's the deal: the Chicago Bears defense is pretty damn good. Khalil Mack, he's leading just a hard-nosed squad, and I don't expect the running game to change this time, which means they're going to be forced into a one-dimensional offense. So if Mitch Trubisky can just keep it together, if they can get a little bit more out of David Montgomery,
I think Trubisky's probably going to build a lot of confidence this game.
I think they can beat
them. I think he could throw all over him.
It's going to go one of two ways. It's going to go Trubisky dominating a secondary that's awful, or it's going to be
Trubisky getting a little cocky and
AJ Terrell getting his first career interception.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't know. I don't have it. I've got the Bears beating the Falcons.
Okay.
So now we move on to busts. And what were our busts last week? My bust last week was the Houston Texans receivers.
Who the fuck was mine?
None of whom caught a touchdown. Brandon Cooks had 95 yards. I don't give a damn. I was correct.
I don't know why I can't remember. Oh, wait,
I can't remember.
I know mine. Either. I know mine. I've written down. It wasn't Melvin Gordon I had. Yeah, Melvin Gordon. But even with Drew Lock going out, Driscoll had a couple passes to Melvin. He got a receiving touchdown. He did all right.
I think yours was Wentz.
Was it?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
We need to start writing this stuff down.
No shit. That's all right. Okay, my bust of the week. Well, this will be interesting choice. Can you tell I don't have one right now?
Yeah, I can tell you don't have one.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
Oh, I'm sure.
He has not shown up at all for the Falcons yet. I don't expect him to do it against the high-powered Bears defense.
Ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. So Todd Gurley.
So what I got, Mike Evans. I think he had a great week last week.
Okay, bold.
The reason, Chris Godwin's back.
No Chris Godwin. Yeah,
Godwin's back. So of course Mike Evans had to be more productive. Of course Tom Brady had to figure out, okay, who's the next best guy I could throw to. I know Godwin week 1 didn't do shit against New Orleans, but we're going against a Denver defense now compared to New Orleans. I just think Godwin's going to get highly targeted. I have a feeling that Gronk may finally get out of this little rut he's in. Mm-hmm. But I think Mike Evans is, not shitting on the guy. I just think he's not going to get a whole lot of volume like he did last week. Last week, I think he got 10 targets or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he had 10 targets, 7 receptions, 104 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown.
Mr. Skyler, your bust of the week.
My bust of the week, I'm going to go Drew Brees.
I dig it, man.
I like it.
I dig it.
As much as I hate to say that because he's my starting quarterback in fantasy, and I'm going against Adam who has Rodgers. But
Drew Brees' arm wasn't looking up to snuff against the Raiders. They got upset, and they honestly got dominated in the second half. And they're going up against the Packers that has a pretty decent defense, nice little pass rush.
That's why I did not start him in Mike's league. I started Minshew, which now I'm thinking I should have started Brees because he probably would have pulled something more out of his ass than Minshew did.
I think I had the Packers defense in one of my leagues, and I dropped him for Indy's defense.
I did Indy's defense in right line this week. The Jets.
So, I'm not exactly betting on Green Bay's defense to, get positive points or anything or over 10 points.
But Brees was not looking like Brees.
Brees wasn't looking like Brees.
He's looking his age.
And he was looking his age for the first time. Same like Brady's looking the same.
Here's the thing: without Michael Thomas, that hurts him more than I think we thought.
He can't throw a little 10-yard outs.
Little 10-yard slants to Thomas. It's where he can just move the chains aggressively. Mm-hmm. Can't do it. The deep ball is not what it was back in 2011.
Hell no. It's exposed. Expose him.
It happens again. Then it happens again. How long is it before we see Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill take a start away from him?
Okay, Taysom Hill will never have that job.
They would have to lose.
You don't think so?
Nope.
They would have to lose 8 in a row.
You think so?
Yep.
They would have to lose 8 in a row. They're in win now mode. It's not going to happen. Okay, let's move on to matchups. Week 3.
Either 8 in a row or Breeze gets hit by a car or something
Yeah.
Literally can't play.
Week 3 NFL matchups. Game number 1. The underwhelming Houston Texans are taking on the surprisingly formidable Pittsburgh Steelers. Vegas has the Steelers as 4-point favorites in this game with an over-under of 45. What say you, gentlemen?
I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I have Pittsburgh as well.
We're at a consensus with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Steelers' defense has looked the best that it's looked in a few years. I think after you lose a guy like James Harrison and Ryan
and how's Houston's offense looking?
Aside from Deshaun Watson, Houston's offense does not look very good.
Looks non-existent.
David Johnson came crashing back to earth last week. They got Darren Fells had a touchdown, but aside from that, their wide receivers did not, which again proves my point. Trade for OBJ or sign Antonio Brown.
Yep.
The Steelers, though.
No. OBJ's going to New England, man.
Maybe. The Steelers, though, this defense is the strongest they've been in years. Obviously, there was a rough few years when you lose a guy like James Harrison, who got old. You lose a guy like Ryan Shazier to just a tragic early neck injury right in his prime. But T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, the Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, who had a pick last week. These guys are keeping what's his name? Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
Played very good on the front line. This defense is looking better than it's been in a long time, and I expect that to continue against the largely.
Another thing on this game, it's the Watt family reunion.
That's right. This is the first time that
spicy.
I believe it's the first NFL game in which 3 brothers have played at the same time since 1968 or something like that.
I think it said 1930.
No shit.
So why isn't this like a primetime game, man?
Because it's Pittsburgh.
Because it's Houston.
Okay, but they're rolling out Cleveland and Cincy. They're rolling out Jaguars and fucking Miami, but they can't do this. Come on, I would rather watch this game more than any of those other games.
Second trio since 1927 to appear in the same game. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. The Houston offense, like we said, it lacks that ignition. The Steelers offense, not the greatest, but they've got outside of Juju Smith-Schuster, you got a couple young receivers there in Deontay Johnson and
let's just give some respect to Ben Roethlisberger playing like the Ben Roethlisberger we all know.
I will say though, you got a couple young receivers on that team in Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool that are going to continue to grow and get better. And James Conner had a great comeback game last week when everybody,
after that injury,
people were counting him out and taking up Benny Snell wherever they could
you
get
had him
him
on the bench, didn't you?
I benched his ass last week.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
I mean,
so we're all taking Steelers over under 45.
Under.
I take the under on this. I think the Steelers defense is going to bottle up Houston pretty bad.
I mean,
they're going to bottle up their receivers at least. And
we need to start going over the over-unders on the Fridays too.
Yeah.
We're going to have to write them down.
Well, and here's the thing.
We can recap the over-unders in the...
We can. I mean, it's
segment.
Not terribly important, but yeah, the thing is like...
No, I think it would just be fun.
I just feel like the past... Houston's receivers are underwhelming. Their tight ends are decent. I'm sorry, but if the Steelers defense only allowed 9 rushing yards from Saquon Barkley...
I'm going to say the under, too, because I don't see both of these teams racking up enough points.
They're not going to allow very much from David Johnson on this game either. No. So, moving on. Tennessee Titans take on the underwhelming Minnesota Vikings. Titans are 2.5-point favorites in Minneapolis, and I'm staying right in the fire. I'm so anti-Titans or anti-Vikings now. It's not even funny.
I mean, after Kirk threw 3 picks last week, I think Tennessee.
No. Tennessee's defense is looking pretty good. Now, I will say one of Kirk Cousins' interceptions, you can't fault him on. Mm-hmm. It was a Hail Mary to end the first half, and he also had one that was batted. So it's not as bad as it's not like he didn't have like a Nathan Peterman day. Yeah. I mean, 2 of those were by circumstance.
I mean,
but
still though,
that offense is not getting it going. I don't expect the running game to get it going against Titans defense.
Oh, hell no.
Dalvin Cook's yardage has been kind of underwhelming this season. And they're kind of missing having a second deep threat out there, whereas Stephon Diggs is starting to flourish in Buffalo the way we talked about. Adam Thielen, I mean, he's reliable, but Justin Jefferson needs more time.
Yeah. Needs a little more experience.
Whereas, I mean, Ryan Tannehill was pretty efficient in his drive, although they did almost blow it. They did almost lose to...
it came down.
To Jacksonville. They were able to get it done, and I expect Derrick Henry to have a pretty decent game against Minnesota.
I think he's going to have at least 2 rushing touchdowns, for sure. I
mean, Jonathan Taylor, the rookie, burned them for 100 yards.
He'll go for 100 yards for sure.
I feel like Derrick Henry can do that against this team without much trouble.
Yep.
They're going to game plan around him, but I
sure.
think Tannehill's turning enough heads that they'll do it too.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the Titans there over under 49.5. I'm tempted to take the over.
I'm tempted to take the over too.
Under.
You're taking under? Yeah. I'm going to take the over. Why not? I mean, I could see it getting high scoring if the Titans let a couple get away from them.
Yep. That's exactly what I see it. Minnesota can get hot if the defense allows it.
So moving on, we've got the Bears taking on the Falcons.
Bears. You already kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
That was your upset of the week.
That's my upset of the week.
And this is where we disagree. I think Atlanta's going to come out.
I've got Atlanta.
They're going to put that. They're going to put that game against Dallas behind them, and they're going to try to correct it. And Chicago, Trubisky, he's been a little better this year, obviously, than last year thus far. I think Atlanta's a better team. I mean, defense aside, secondary, I don't think Trubisky's the guy.
Boy, imagine if you had Atlanta's offense and Chicago's defense, huh? Boy,
Jesus, yeah.
That squad would be something.
That would be an elite team. That would be another Super Bowl team.
Atlanta's offense is great. I mean, they've got Julio, but here's the deal. Julio's nursing a hamstring injury, which is inevitability, especially if you're a fantasy player. You see hamstring injury, the red flag is on. It means a player is obviously not going to be 100%. Mm-hmm. Now, luckily, Calvin Ridley owners are rolling in it right now. They're loving life.
Yes,
Kyler,
we are.
I had him last year. He was a stud. He was a workhorse. And I'm really upset I did not get him this year.
If you're a Russell Gage owner, I would say throw Russell Gage out there too. Why not?
Throw him out there every week, man.
As long as
he was almost my breaker of the week this week.
As long as Julio's dealing with a hamstring, at least throw Russell Gage out. No worries.
Dude's a stud.
He's developed into a great wide receiver 3.
He's been getting like 100 yards a game, right?
Close to it, yeah. So far, he's a great wide receiver 3. Now I've got Chicago in this game. Obviously, I just think that their defense is going to hold.
That's the thing.
They're going to hold Atlanta down more than Denver's did, or not Denver. I'm sorry, Dallas's did. Dallas obviously missing some key pieces. Leighton Vander Esch, of course, being the biggest. And they were kind of, I mean, so far this season, they've been missing Byron Jones in the secondary. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like Atlanta's defense, they could potentially start giving some shit away to Mitch Trubisky and maybe even David Montgomery.
See, that's where I disagree with the Trubisky. I ain't bought in yet.
You ain't bought in yet? Hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But this is a contract year for Trubisky.
It is.
So we could see some incredible games this year. I don't know. I feel like Chicago can hold them down.
Okay. I like it.
Over under on this one is 47.5.
Ooh,
and
I'll take the under because I don't think Chicago's really going to score that much.
Being that I have Chicago winning,
you might want to take the over on that.
I think it's going to be defensive. I think I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't, even though
Atlanta?
Here's the thing, even though Atlanta's defense is poor, I don't think Chicago is going to score very many points. It's going to be all about them bottling up Matt Ryan. So, okay, spread time. Oh, let me take the Bears off of mine real quick. We've got Raiders traveling to Gillette Stadium to take on the New England Patriots. This is a closer game than I think we're expecting, but even though they lost to Seattle, you understand this is a difference of one play. This is a difference of a missed field goal. New England could have won that game the same way that the Chargers could have beaten the Chiefs.
As a Hawks fan, I thought the game was over when they were running that last play with.
Oh yeah,
and I knew, and we all knew it was coming, and I still thought Seattle couldn't stop it because they did it all night.
Right. So my thing is, New England has a squad.
Oh fuck!
And I think any team
they got a quarterback too.
Any team facing New England this year needs to be afraid. I like the fire that Vegas showed, and as much as I hate the Raiders, I'm being as impartial as possible on the show. There's a lot to like there on their offense. There is not a lot to like there on their defense. And I
don't know, man.
They're playing a Drew Brees without a Michael Thomas. I mean,
same one player. One player is going to dictate how their offense runs. No, they look fucking good no matter where you put them.
They game planned extremely well for Drew Brees without his best weapon. They have a couple great players on the defense, but keep in mind, they still give up a lot of points. And New England put up a lot of points.
It went both ways, I will say that.
New England put up a lot of points on Seattle, who typically does not give up a lot of points.
Yeah.
I like New England.
You know how that matchup goes every time.
I've got New England.
And I think I'm one of the very few who has Vegas because I liked how they played against New Orleans, even without Michael Thomas. What did Michael Thomas do week 1? Nothing.
Oops.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's a trusty target. He runs those trusty routes. He's just, for a guy whose deep ball is not what it was 9-10 years ago, those 10-yard slants move the chains regardless. He's a vital piece of that offense. And Emmanuel Sanders didn't do jack shit on Monday.
And you think Vegas ain't going to be able to play around that? They're going to game plan for that. Michael Thomas he's still not playing.
Vegas game planned around that for the. I'm talking about the Patriots taking on Vegas.
Here's the thing with the Patriots though. Really, what they got a game plan around that is Cam Newton. Cam Newton,
a dual threat, playing like his MVP self.
He is playing like his MVP season, right? He's running the ball. He's making these some of these passes though. When they come up, I'm like, ugh. But him and Edelman are starting to get a little connection there.
A little.
Right.
Okay. Keep in mind. So and
Edelman's still not 100% either.
Edelman's not going to put up another 179-yard stat line, but I expect him to put up probably 100 yards again.
But that's the thing. Who else do they have?
N'Keal Harry.
Edelman?
N'Keal Harry had a decent game.
Edelman was
And he's still not 100% either.
exhausted.
You guys got to remember that.
At the end of that. Did you
So,
see him on the sidelines at the end of that game?
They still have receivers that still are nursing minor injuries.
Yeah. James White's going to be out probably another
All
game,
it all it takes is one of these guys getting roughed up a little bit, and it could be a whole different game.
I like the Pats defense. I think.
Oh yeah, they're solid. But here we go again. Stephon Gilmore. I know you're not going to see a whole lot of receivers like DK Metcalf.
Right.
You don't see them built that way.
DK Metcalf
handled
yeah.
Stephon Gilmore like he was just a little punk.
So who on the Raiders is gonna match up
Nobody.
against him?
I mean, who is Stephon Gilmore going to lock up? Is what you're asking me against the Raiders?
Right. I don't think they're gonna put Ruggs on him.
No, and
For one,
Ruggs is questionable right now.
Ruggs is questionable, and Ruggs hasn't shown up entirely yet. It's gonna take him some time.
But I think it's going to be I know, and there you go. Josh Jacobs, right, as a running back. I like New England's defense. They're probably going to bottle him up, right?
Who else is catching ball? Well, yeah.
You got Renfro. He did okay.
Renfro.
But he still hasn't done anything to impress me all that much.
Chris Carson, he didn't run a shitload on.
I think Vegas is going to come off
New
a high
England.
from beating, obviously, one of the best teams right now as far as the Saints go in the NFL.
I mean, Patriots are 5.5-point favorites.
Yep.
I think that New England still has a squad. I find it hard to believe they start 1-2.
I know this could have arguably been my upset of the week, but I really feel like Vegas is the better team.
Okay, hey man, we like having differing opinions here.
Yeah.
Over under on this game. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care what it is. I'm taking the over.
It's the over. It's for sure. It's probably like 49.
47.
Okay, 47.
Now we get to the Niners and the Giants. Niners, because of all their injuries, they are only 3.5-point favorites. However, the Giants are not good.
No.
Daniel Jones
And
is like a steaming hot turd right now, in my opinion.
You went Niners too?
Oh, I went Niners.
So here's the thing. I don't care that the Niners lost Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas for this game.
Guess who the Giants lost?
The Giants are out Saquon.
That's big. That's huge.
The Giants have been out Nate Solder, who is their best O lineman because he opted out this season. Shepard is gone.
Now this is...
And I don't care that they signed Devontae Freeman because guess what?
That's the only thing they're going to get going
Devontae Freeman hasn't had a good season since 2016. He's only run over 1,000 yards twice in his career. He's dealt with debilitating knee and Achilles injuries. He's not going to revitalize this Giants running game. Nope. It's
Another
done.
thing that would make...
If Saquon got bottled up, who were they playing? Was it week one? Week two.
They got bottled up by the Steelers, and then
Bad.
And then he got killed on the first drive, week 2 against whoever the fuck they played.
He just
The Bears.
if Saquon ain't doing it, Freeman definitely ain't, right?
I frankly think that I get giving a guy another chance and giving a guy a job. The Giants are not pushing anybody for a playoff spot this year. I frankly think that they just wasted their money. I don't think that replacing Saquon is going to help you out here. You're out a receiver. You're out your top O lineman.
That's called, Mike? That's called desperation.
It's desperation, but for a team that's not going to do anything. New York Giants, mark my words, they're going to pick top 10 next year.
Yeah.
This is not a good team. They're going to get killed by a Niners team that is out their top 2 edge rushers and their quarterback and their running back and their top corner in Richard Sherman. And they're probably going to... The Niners are probably going to beat them by 2 scores.
Right.
The Giants are not good.
Well, and
all the Giants are going to come in thinking that they're going to get this W because of all these injuries. It's not going to happen.
Washington is better than New York.
Yeah.
The New York Giants will finish bottom of the division, and they're going to be picking top 10 this year.
Yep.
Period. And,
I think
Hot take that I'm all about.
So, look, New York got 3 points for just being at home.
Probably.
So really, there's, but also usually
I think nobody knows yet with the Niners so depleted.
Usually this game would probably be a little closer had San Francisco not played in New York last week. There's a good chance San Francisco stayed in New York.
They have. Yeah, they're playing in the same stadium they played last time.
Yeah.
you stay there instead of going home and coming back to the East Coast.
You know exactly what's going down.
You're way more prepared.
No jet lag.
I just did that. Right? Like,
yeah. No jet lag.
Other than
you get the benefit of staying there.
Like we practiced here for you.
The NFL
right?
investigating the new turf at MetLife to being part of the ACL.
How often do you get to play 2 away games in a row and not have to suffer jet lag?
You don't.
It's
never really
rare.
happened.
It's very rare. So I like the Niners in this game. Remember, the Niners lost those guys in the first half of that game and still clobbered the Jets by like 3 scores.
Is that really a feat?
Okay, now listen though. The Giants, I think, are better than the Jets.
For sure.
I think anybody's better than the Jets. But
Bad time to
I think
be
my
a New
left
York
nut
football
is better
fan.
than the Jets.
I still think the Giants are going to lose by 2 scores. That being said, take the under.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
the under.
the under for sure.
There's not going to be a lot of points scored in this
What even
game.
is the over-under?
41.5.
Yeah, under.
I would take the under still. There's not going to be a lot of points scored in this game. This is going to be Phil Dawson's still their kicker in
I don't know, but
San Fran. Whatever. It's going to be the kicker show. Trust me on that. Not a good game. This is going to be the toilet bowl that we never thought would be the toilet bowl. Moving on. We have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Philadelphia to take on the 4.5-point favorite Eagles.
You guys already know my pick because that's my upset of the week.
This is a closer match for them. I think I begrudgingly I
think you went.
I half marked Cincy and I begrudgingly put Philly. I can see myself regretting this damn choice.
Hey, I'm not gonna give anybody a hard time either way they pick because I think it's a fair matchup. I think it's a fair matchup.
Who you got?
Bengals.
But obviously the Bengals are gonna be underdog because they haven't been shit in years and they got a rookie QB. The thing is, Philly's been playing like shit. Wait, who's favored? Philly?
Philly by 4.5.
By 4.5.
But remember, Philly was favored by 1 point against the Rams yesterday, and I will say
hilarious.
The odds makers were huffing paint when they did that.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
No, I think that Philly can win this game. I think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be close.
I think we're going to see.
It's not going to be a blowout.
We could see a Burrow fourth quarter comeback. But here's the thing: the Bengals defense not very good.
Nope.
Philly's offensive line not very good.
Nope.
So I think this.
I think Mixon's going to start running it, stuffing it.
Yep.
And Burrow, and then they're going to use that to Burrow's advantage.
But I think the Philly's going to run it on Cincy too. I think this is going to be an ugly, sloppy, ground and pound game with a lot of turnovers made because of lots of pressure from 2 very bad offensive lines. 47.5. I'm tempted to take the over because the O-line, the coverage, the protection, the defenses on both sides are so bad.
Oh, I'll take the over all day.
But yeah, so honestly, this game could go either way, but I just find it...
We'll find out like real quick in the game how it's going to go.
I have a hard time just not picking Philly in this one. So
on paper, yeah.
Let's move on to, if I can, find that logo real quick. Oh, Eagles were up here. Move on to Washington football team taking on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Cleveland Browns 7.5-point favorites.
Tell me, Mike. I really want to know your pick on this because I did not even look at your sheet. I don't even think I asked you. I could guess right now, and I'm pretty sure I'd be 100% correct.
It's like the old saying goes. Fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool me 2 times. Fool me won't get fooled again.
So Mike's got Washington.
No, I got the Browns.
Wait, really?
Fool me once, shame on me. Yeah, because I picked Washington last week.
I know,
and they clobbered me. No, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 2 times.
So are you buying into Cleveland? Or is this just the matchup?
It's just the matchup.
Okay.
I mean, I think Washington keeps it close, but I feel like and their defense is good. Their pass rush is great. Washington's still figuring out their running game.
Okay.
And they're going to get run on themselves a lot. So I like Cleveland in this game.
This is my take. I don't think Washington's going to keep it close, and I think Cleveland's going to blow the brakes off.
I think Hunt and Chubb are just going to chew them
I think
up.
Odell is on the rise as wide receiver 1 finally, like he should be. I think Landry's going to take a little back seat to that. And I think Chubb and Kareem Hunt, that 1-2 punch, the best 1-2 punch in the NFL right now, I feel like are those guys. And I feel like Cleveland is on the rise. Forget about week 1.
I think Cleveland
Forget about it.
I think Cleveland will lean on their running game.
For sure. Why wouldn't they?
But I think Washington.
And then they're going to catch Washington slipping, and Odell's going to go for a bomb again. Baker
think
Mayfield and Odell, I feel like it's coming together.
Cleveland wins. Their running game is what's going to get them there.
Oh, for sure.
I think
agree.
Washington's pass rush, which is better than people are going to give them credit for, are going to give Baker Mayfield a little trouble.
I'm not saying it's bad.
And I think
I'm saying they're going to catch. Cleveland's going to catch them
when
when they're not expecting it.
I think another sack for Chase Young, who is probably going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm sure there'll be a sack, maybe 2, but hey, maybe 3.
I've got Cleveland here. It's
I
plain and
got
simple.
the over.
You got the over 45.
I got the under.
Give me the over. Give me the over. Put the over in my veins.
You bastards.
You bastards. Okay, Rams, Bills. It's in Buffalo.
This is a good one.
Bills
I
are
like
1.5 point favorites. This should be fucking America's game. It's not because we got the Chiefs and the goddamn.
Yeah, that's
except America's game of the week is Dallas, Seattle.
Which I actually think is even more of an American game there. But
so Rams, Bills. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm probably gonna watch it.
I'm for sure watching
if it's in our network.
We got a little.
I'm gonna watch it.
Little something for you.
I may or may not fucking watch it anyway. So Bills 1.5 point favorites taking on a Rams, a pretty tough
Jalen
Rams
Ramsey
defense. But you know what? Dang it, I have been a Buffalo truther since last year.
Mm-hmm.
I see no reason to change.
I'm right there with you. I got the Bills.
I think
we all came to a consensus on the Bills.
I think Josh Allen is in the midst of what will be his best season yet.
Yep. You got an elite receiver now joining the team, Stephon Diggs. He's been doing nothing but greatness.
And nobody's going to run on... I mean, unless you're Zeke, nobody's going to run on the Rams anyway.
No.
So I'm not expecting that. Plus, the Rams, 2 of their top running backs, Malcolm Brown and Cam Akers, are nursing injuries. Malcolm Brown's got a broken finger. Cam Akers has torn cartilage.
And he's looking like he's going to play.
He did. I mean, he's going to buddy tape those fingers. But here's the thing. Broken fingers. Wasn't looking good last week. Cam Akers has torn cartilage in his ribs.
Hey, guess what? Broken fingers, you still hold the ball. I was a running back for so many...
I'm just saying they're going to limit his carries. Regardless.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they do have Benny Cunningham. They do a full-on committee system there. Robert Woods taking on his old squad.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. And then they've got Cooper Kupp as well. But the Bills...
It's gonna be a good game.
The Bills' defense is pretty damn good. And that secondary is one of the top... It's probably top 5 in the league. So, but they're kind of the secondary nobody talks about.
I like the 1.5 point favorites though, because I do think it is going to be a close game.
I just think that they'll catch Jared Goff slipping. I
know he's been doing good. You know, I counted him out, but he's on the up and up.
This is going to be a low scoring game, I think.
Oh, it's going to come down to the better defense.
Over under 46.5. I take the under on that.
Yep, I'll take the under.
Take the over.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like you, Mike. It's going to come down to a defensive game.
So now we get to and I really hope we're in agreement on this one.
Everybody is besides one person.
Lock of the week. We have the Colts. The Jets are going to Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, to take on the Colts. Colts are 11.5 point favorites.
Holy shit.
At home. Take a picture. This may be the highest you see all year, unless the Jets play the Chiefs this year, which I think they do.
That's kind of
I think we play
AFC
East this year.
Seattle plays the Jets too.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, needless to say, we've all got the Colts in this one.
Got the Colts, but you know what? This gives. If I'm a Jet, if I'm any part of that organization and I see that garbage on the, I won't call it garbage, but if I see that, I would call it garbage if I was a Jet. If I see that 11.5 point favorites, It's going to light a fire under my ass.
Now,
don't be surprised if the Jets come out hot.
Now, the Colts, they lost a key piece of their secondary, Malik Hooker, to a season-ending injury. Also, Paris Campbell, to one of their receivers, to a season-ending injury. I think that moves Michael Pittman up in the depth chart to number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Jets come out fucking just fighting.
I think I take it's over under 44. I'll take the over because here's the deal. The Jets put points up, but that just means it's going to be like 34 to 17.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
I got 34 to 17.
I'll take the
that.
under because for some reason, I feel like the Jets are going to really fight.
I mean, I'm just saying on a Jets defense that no CJ Mosley.
Because the Colts really haven't even proven themselves yet.
But here's the thing. On this Jets defense with no CJ Mosley and no Jamal Adams, I'm willing to bet even Phillip Rivers is going to throw for like 400 on them.
Okay, I like that.
It's just not going to, I mean, I just don't see any other way around it. And Jonathan Taylor is a budding star, and barring anything bad happening to him, he's going to have a tremendous game as well.
I'll take the under.
That Colts offense is looking good. Moving on, Carolina Panthers will travel to SoFi Stadium to take on Justin Herbert's Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are 6.5-point favorites, and you already know me, man.
It's a no-brainer. It's the Panthers.
Yeah, it's
right?
Panthers all day. No, kidding.
I'm kidding too.
Okay. Chargers. There's a McCaffrey-less Panthers team, which was like really the last piece that was really going for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, no McCaffrey, which means they're gonna. I mean, Mike Davis is going to get some snaps. They obviously can't abandon the run game right off the bat, but
it's not going to be scary.
The Chargers defense is looking pretty good,
stout.
Better than advertised. They bottled up Clyde Edwards-Helaire last week.
Just look at all you gotta know is go back and watch that Chargers KC game and tell me the Chargers ain't winning this week.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. They bottled up Clyde Edwards-Helaire last week. They bottled up Joe Mixon week 1, forced him to fumble, a guy who never fumbles. I don't expect the backup running back on the Panthers to do anything special against them, which means Teddy Bridgewater is going to be forced to throw a lot. And I'm
actually kind of excited about that because I love Bridgewater.
I do too. But there's 3 Pro Bowl corners on that secondary, and a pass rush that includes one, Joey Bosa. I expect Justin Herbert to show up and show out against a far worse team than the defending champions, and I don't know what the over is, but I'm tempted to smash it.
Rooting for the kid.
43.5.
Over.
Yeah. Well,
the thing is, how many points
is Carolina putting up? Right.
That's the point. That's the problem here. I take the under.
I'll take the over. They're probably gonna bottle up Robbie Anderson. He ain't gonna get shit.
I'll say 30-10. I'll take the under.
You think the score's gonna be 30-10?
I don't think the Panthers put up a lot of points on this defense. No.
You think Chargers are putting up 30?
Who have the Panthers played? They played the Raiders, and they put up a lot of. This is why I say the Raiders defense isn't as good as advertised. They put up a shitload of points on the Raiders.
How many did?
And they played the Buccaneers.
How many did New Orleans put against the Raiders again?
24.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
24 without their best weapon.
I think it's the under, but
I'm taking the under too. I've got 30 and I got 30-10, maybe 30-7. No, 30-10, maybe 24-10.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably the under, right?
I just don't think that this defense allows a lot of points. I think that they're going to give Teddy Bridgewater a hard time, and they're going to give Mike Davis an even harder time.
Yeah,
I could be totally wrong here, but I don't know.
It's a great thing about sports. Nobody fucking knows.
Okay, here we go. The Lions versus the Cardinals. They're playing in Arizona. This may as well be a lock of the week.
This is the lock of the week, boys. Kyler Murray's playing out of his freaking gourd.
Cardinals are 5.5-point favorites. I don't even need to ask Skyler. I know he's picking the Cardinals in this game.
You're literally freaking like borderline just...
You're a psycho if you pick Detroit, period. Matt Patricia, this is going to be just they're going to start out 0-3, and this is another. I honestly think
Matt going to get the old boat.
Matt Patricia will get fired 8 games into the season.
I was going to say like 7, but 6 or 7.
Why not? Why not make this bet live on the air?
Okay. I think he gets fired if we're going to week 3. If he loses 3 more games after Arizona beats them, obviously 3 more games after that, he's fired.
So you're saying fired at 6 losses?
6 losses.
I'm saying week 8 he's gone.
Okay.
Hold on. I wanna do a little research here.
Research for what?
What is there to research?
the hell?
Matt Patricia's
I
terrible.
want to see who they're playing.
I don't give a fuck. I bet you Miami beats them. Not even kidding. I bet you Jaguars beat them. Miami beats them. I swear Cincy's going to beat them.
They get the Saints, the Jaguars, and the Falcons.
Done.
If they lose to the Jaguars, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's 5.
So
I
you're
got
taking
week
5, 6, 8.
So you've got 5, you've got 6. So
You got week 8.
are you saying 0-5, or are you saying by week 5?
0-5.
Okay.
I'm saying 0 and 6.
You're saying 0-6. I'm saying by week 8,
Bye week.
which would be the Vikings, gone.
I mean, really, week 8,
Sounds better.
the bye week, give the interim coach time to.
Pack his bags and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Okay. So they do get a bye after this game.
Okay, we're all in a
No,
consensus
they don't.
that
I
he
lied.
doesn't even make it to half this. He makes it to about half this.
They get a bye after the Saints game. Then they go on a 2-game road trip. I feel they lose by. I feel he's gone by week 8. There's no way. Okay. So moving on. Oh no, not moving on. I'm sorry. We all have the Cardinals. What's the over under though? Because I know
It's the over because
Over.
Cardinals are going to score the over. They're going to
55 and a half.
they're not going to score the over.
Never mind, it's under.
Okay.
Holy shit.
50?
No, you know what? Fuck it. No, take the over.
No, I think the
Take the
Cardinals, they're scoring close to 40.
36-20.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Cardinals are going to score close to 40.
The Lions are putting points up in these games, but then they blow it in the second half,
Yep.
and they get crunched on really
Look at
hard.
these last 4 games and the over-unders on them.
I need to start sports betting.
56, 57, 52, and 54.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a Bovada account going, and
Just
We're gonna
you have to convert to Bitcoin. And
Okay, all right.
I know all that cryptocurrency
Hey guys,
shit.
sports betting is cool. Seahawks, Cowboys, and they're playing in Seattle. I
already know this dipshit's answer.
I picked Seattle in this one.
picked
Brady
Dallas.
picks Seattle.
Any sane person would.
Skylar picks Dallas. Over under is 57.
Good lord.
Under.
I'm tempted. I gotta pick the under. It's safe.
I'm gonna take the over.
Oh my word. Okay.
Nope.
Here's the thing. Russell Wilson is in the midst of an MVP caliber season right now. It's hard not to. It's hard not to see it.
Prove me wrong, Seattle. Go Hawks.
He's got an elite group of wide receivers here: Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf.
DK is going. No, keep going.
I mean, they're. Chris Carson is even a great running back. He hasn't had that big breakout game yet this season. I feel like this is where he's going to show up and show out pretty hard, and that Seahawks defense is playing pretty hard. Quandre Diggs should be back. He's not going to get a suspension because they didn't.
He was just ejected. That
It was just it was anybody could have been there.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is playing really well. It'll be interesting to see him playing against the team he wanted to go to.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
He is going to take the league by storm this year, as far as wide receivers go.
Now,
the way he bodied Stephon Gilmore.
Did you start him last week?
No.
Because you
why?
went with what everybody said.
I went with what I knew, that Stephon Gilmore is the best corner in the NFL, and this is why I'm saying now that DK
He was on the top of the list of everybody's sit him last week.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But he bodied Stephon Gilmore like he was just a little kid, like wanting to come up into the league. Like,
So
totally.
Here's the thing. We've got the Dallas offense, and I know, and I said it on Monday's show, I know y'all aren't the biggest Dak Prescott fans.
No.
However, we can't let it go unnoticed. The guy threw for over 400 yards last game. He played exceedingly well,
I'll give
especially in the second half. I feel like over the course of the season, remember, this is a guy who's in a contract year 2. This is a guy who wants to get paid as well.
40 mil.
He is going to be playing out of his mind. Ezekiel Elliott, you can never discount Ezekiel Elliott. And they've got 3 great receivers here.
So why don't these guys play like this all the time?
Because they underwhelm. Here's the thing. You've got Amari Cooper.
Why does it matter if it's a contract year?
Here's the
Well,
thing.
old Dak just realized he can't support his family on $36 million, so he's got to play even harder.
Being impartial here,
They're going to starve.
he's talented as hell. Amari Cooper is playing his best football in a Dallas Cowboys
He
uniform.
better be because he's 100 mil, isn't he?
Yes. Michael Gallup's is a steady number 2, and they got...
No, he's not.
He's a steady number 2. And they
It's
got...
not looking like it.
God damn it, dude. They got a steal in CeeDee Lamb, who I personally think was the most talented receiver in the draft. That's a guy who's going to climb up and may leap Gallup in the depth chart. I like their offense. Dalton Schultz, their replacement tight end, he had a score last week. He looks to be kind of climbing into his eye. I don't know. Their defense is missing some pieces. Seattle is going to score on them a lot. I like Seattle in this game.
Our
but
defense is missing. I mean, we just lost Blair.
Blair and Bruce Irvin are both gone.
Did surgery.
And they both tore ACLs on that. So both sides are missing pieces. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be 57 high. No, fuck it. Maybe it is. Take the over on that.
I'm going to say...
I'm not discounting Seattle or Dallas. I'm not going to get childish and lob insults out here because Dak Prescott's playing really hard. He's playing. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
Against the Rams, his second half against the Rams wasn't that great, but against the Falcons, his heroics in that game, and yeah, it came to an onside kick recovery, but he had to get him there in the second half.
What I was going to say is I will give credit where it's due. As much shit I talk about Dak Prescott, he pulled it out of his ass and he played great. He played like he should be worth $40 million last week.
31-30 final.
I just don't see it coming in this week. I know every time Dallas and the Seahawks play, it's a tough matchup. It always comes down to the last drive. It always does.
Same with the Patriots. I mean, same
with the Patriots. I knew that wasn't. I knew that wasn't going to be a piece of cake.
Although the last 2 1-yard plays at the end of the game we won, but
So now we've got the Buccaneers. They're traveling to Empower Field in Denver at Mile High to take on the Broncos. The Drew Lock-less, Cortland Sutton-less, Von Miller-less Broncos. I think we all have the Bucs, correct?
Yeah.
The Buccaneers, we saw it last week. They played a shitty Carolina team. They turned it up. I see more of that in what is going on here. I see more of that in this game against Denver. Obviously, I think we can expect some points out of Noah Fant, like Brady said, and maybe a Melvin Gordon touchdown. However, it just depends on Jeff Driscoll. I'm not sold on him as a backup, or Blake Bortles. Blake the Snake just got signed by Denver, so you never know. Hey, he did go to an AFC Championship game.
It's smart. It's smart for them to sign. I don't know about Bortles, but it's smart for them to sign another quarterback.
But it's
obviously.
a guy, like him or hate him, that's a guy with playoff experience. Yep. That's a guy who even if it was a fluke year, whatever you want to say,
it could be the wrong organization. You don't know.
But it's hard not to love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. I mean, even with all the weapons, Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin back, O.J. Howard, Gronk is still a presence whether you like it or not. Tom Brady finds more guys to catch the ball. Scotty Miller for one. Cameron Braid is still there, I think. That running game.
You got Fournette.
Well, yeah, in that running game, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette came out, had a great game week 2. It's hard not to enjoy that offense, especially against a defense that's missing its stalwart number 1 big piece in Von Miller. You got to smash the Bucs on this game, and I'm gonna take the over because I do expect the Broncos to get 2 scores, but I expect the Bucs to score like 27, 30 points. I mean, it's going to be a lot. Yeah. So moving on, Sunday Night Football, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the maybe struggling a little bit New Orleans Saints, and I took Green Bay in this game.
I did as well. I think Aaron Rodgers is doing great things. He's in the MVP race, as we've all discussed before.
Yep.
Sorry, I was looking at what other quarterbacks are out there because I'm worried about starting
Now,
Breeze.
Aaron Rodgers is playing very well. However, it's unknown if Davante Adams is going to play in this game. Obviously, the Saints are still without Michael Thomas, but we saw Aaron Jones come out and have an amazing Week 2 performance last week against Detroit. Obviously, the Saints are going to have a better run defense than that. But I expect Aaron Jones to be featured more in this game. And I expect, if Davante Adams is out there, I expect him to garner some attention, some much-needed attention. And maybe that means we get another big game out of an MVS or an Alan Lazard. Aaron Rodgers, he's healthy. His arm looks great. Yeah. He's making a lot of great choices. And this might, if there's a week for them to catch New Orleans, it's gonna be this one. I still think it's going to be high scoring. I think I will take the over on that. It is 52.5 points.
I like what you said there. If there's a week to catch them, it's this week because they're coming off a really hard loss from Vegas.
And if you can, and I mean, yeah, they get to play in the Dome. That might help out Mr. Breeze a little bit. But if
it's either it's gonna be bounce back, or you're still thinking about what happened last week.
But if you can knock them down and go 3-0 in a division where Chicago might be having a bit of an easy run here, but Minnesota is looking like terrible and Detroit's looking terrible. If you can knock the Saints down to 1-2, that's huge.
You're sitting pretty,
especially in a conference with Seattle, with Tampa. Yep. Where there's only one first-round bye in that playoffs.
Yep,
you're playing for a lot now.
It's more than what's on paper. It's a lot. I mean, it could go either way. It's going to be a shootout, in my opinion. Probably.
I hope this is a great game.
Right. Like I hope it's like both teams are playing very well.
I expect in the same way that he got a lot of attention against Vegas, Alvin Kamara is going to have a nice little game as well. Don't undercut him, and maybe we see a bounce back from Manny Sanders after seeing nothing from him against Vegas. I'm not putting my money on that, but maybe.
You never know.
We'll see there. Moving on. Oh, and I should add, I believe the Packers are favored in that game, but I could be wrong.
I'm sure they are now.
Saints are 3-point favorites in that game.
Shit.
I like the Packers in that game, though.
Even.
And the Buccaneers against the Broncos were favored by 5.5. Seahawks were favored by 4.5. Moving on, Monday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs take on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Baltimore's 3.5-point favorites. I don't
like the 3.5 because there's no fans. I mean,
right.
I don't really don't care about that.
It's not
usually that 3.5 is because you're at home field.
It's not necessarily because of fans. I think it's because
offense.
I think the two offenses cancel each other out. I think that the Ravens defense. I give their defense an edge over.
Yeah, because we were talking about this earlier this week. We just think that Baltimore, just like you're saying, they have a little edge over KC's. It's not like KC has a bad defense. It's that Baltimore has a better, more. Yeah. It's probably one of the most elite defenses in the NFL.
So,
if not the best.
This isn't me hating on the Chiefs. Nope. Obviously, I've said I don't see a flaw in the Chiefs' offense, but they did play. Obviously, we saw the Chargers' defense substantially better than Houston's defense, and the Ravens' defense should be better than ours, if not in just on par in the same ballpark.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that the Ravens' defense is the best defense in the NFL.
Now here's a stat for you: the Chargers held Pat Mahomes to his second fewest amount of points. The only time he was held to fewer, he was nursing a knee injury, and he had no Tyreek Hill.
So pretty much what you're saying is that you guys Chargers held them to the fewest points held
the full health Chiefs to their fewest points since Mahomes.
Tyreek hasn't looked that great this year.
He had a touchdown. I mean, what do you want?
He week one
week one he didn't. Sammy Watkins got everything.
Yeah, but Sammy Watkins is going to get everything week one. We figured that out last year.
Shit for me last week.
So here's the thing: who do you have? Who do you guys have in this game?
So I think everybody in right. Okay, so we do pick them at right line, but between us three, I think we all take Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody took Baltimore.
Nope. One person picked Kansas City. I don't know who it was.
Probably Terry.
Probably Terry.
Adam came over and looked at all Terry's picks. He's like, I'm about to change all my picks.
No, I think I can't speak for most of America because I don't know, but I think most people would probably pick Baltimore only because of the defense of Baltimore.
I feel like the Chiefs are going to make me look real dumb. However,
and because of how the Chargers handled the Chiefs
here's
last
the thing.
time they played.
I think the Chiefs have a potential to make me look very stupid. However, I like the Ravens defense a bit more.
I like
Obviously,
Lamar Jackson.
Who did the Ravens play last week? The Texans. They still put up 30 points on them. They didn't score. What was the score of the Texans Chiefs game? 34? Or was it 31?
It was 33 or 34.
34 to like
I don't
14
remember.
or 15. 20. It was to 20. That's right. And the Ravens did better against them than that. I believe it was 33 to 13 or something like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
34-20.
33-16 was the
Okay.
Texans game. So we're talking marginal.
And
but
we're talking, it could go either way. Like,
while we didn't see it a ton, for one, the Ravens run that committee running game. I feel like Edwards-Helaire is better than Ingram or even well, here's the thing. Last week Gus Edwards got a bunch of the carries. J.K. Dobbins is a potential TD vulture, whereas Edwards-Helaire looks to be the bell cow there. He's small, he's shifty, he's agile. They've got a boatload of weapons on both sides.
not even that. He's like not afraid to go head on and just get his shoulders lower than the defender.
The X factor here is going to be Lamar Jackson rushing and getting out of the pocket.
You know what the X factor?
While Justin Herbert didn't do it a ton, the couple times that he did, including a touchdown on their first drive, the Chiefs looked like they laid an egg and didn't know what the hell to do.
Yep.
And I feel like if there's anybody that's going to make them pay for that, it's going to be Lamar Jackson.
It's going to be two things. It's going to be who's going to play the better defense. And also, it's going to be Pat Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. Who's going to put on the show?
The heavyweight bout.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who is going to dominate? Who is going to take over the game?
For one, give me the over. It's 54. I think this is
scores. What do you guys got scores for this game?
What did I put? 36-33 Baltimore.
Okay, I have 43-34
Because remember,
Baltimore.
you've got probably the two best kickers going head to head in Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker, who, by the way, nailed 3 58-yarders in a row.
That's why he's my kicker, Mike.
34.
That's why he's my kicker in fantasy.
Okay. This game, I'm going to tell you right now, I picked the Ravens here just because their defense is marginally better than KC's.
Mm-hmm.
This game can go either way.
Yeah.
You may as well just call this a push. This game could go either way.
It could be low scoring or it could be high scoring.
Yeah.
It'll be high scoring.
I think most people believe it's.
Oh
be
yeah,
high scoring.
if you're playing fantasy football,
start whoever.
start every Chief.
Yeah.
Start every Raven.
Yep.
Even throw in maybe J.K. like a backup like J.K. Dobbins in there, but
Yeah, because Mark Ingram's actually he's not even docked to get that many rushes or.
You're playing
or
Lamar.
touchdown.
You're playing Hollywood Brown. You're playing Mark Andrews. You're playing
Mark
Ingram. You're probably even flexing J.K. Dobbins if you've got him.
I'm about to fucking
You're playing.
lose my one player from those games.
You're playing Pat Mahomes. You're playing Tyreek Hill.
You're playing Sammy Watkins.
You're playing Sammy Watkins.
Maybe.
No, if he's healthy.
He's still, as of today.
I know he's still in concussion, and this is what happened
just
with
looked it
Godwin
up.
last week, so he probably won't play.
You're playing Edwards-Helaire. You're playing Travis Kelce, and you might even play Mecole Hardman, and then the other.
Damian Williams.
No.
Miko might not be a bad choice with Watkins.
No, you're probably not
out.
playing Damian Williams because you got
not Damian
Edward
Williams.
Helaire.
Not Damian Williams. It's DeMarcus Robinson.
yes Robinson because
Who
he
got targeted in the end zone a lot in the first game.
he almost had I think he did have a touchdown that got called back. Yeah,
He had a touchdown.
and it was a long ball too.
He had a touchdown that got called back, and he had another one that he dropped.
Yep.
He is getting end zone targets. Start them all.
Especially against this game because they're going to be looking for everybody.
Yep. So, over under 54, I'm taking the over.
It's got to be the over.
It's got to be the over. I think we're all taking the over.
Yeah.
So, that's our predictions for this week. And then, who's playing Thursday? It's a shitty game, isn't it?
It's a shit game again.
Broncos.
Jets, Broncos?
No, it better not be. It's
Broncos, Jets.
Broncos, Jets.
Broncos at Jets.
Really?
Give me the Broncos.
Broncos.
Give me, even without Drew Lock and Cortland Sutton, it's still.
Give me the Broncos. I'm sorry, but the
No,
Jets,
they're missing more than that. There's like 11 dudes
Von Miller
on the sidelines.
Here's the thing. I'll take the Broncos in this, barring any further injuries on them, because the Jets are picking first this year.
Yeah.
They're so bad. The Jets are so bad.
Or Trevor
I'm
Lawrence.
sure everybody remembers what I said last week, right? Jets aren't winning one game. They're not winning one game. They're going 0-16. I mean, that's a hot take.
It's tough to call, but I appreciate it. So with that out of the way, let's take it to Twitter.
Okay.
And see what does Skip Bayless have to say?
Jesus, let's see.
Because he had a funny one yesterday.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Will the Raiders go 3-0 at Cam? Oh wait, but he's plugging his show. Hold on, dude. Give me something that isn't plugging your damn show.
Yeah.
At Undisputed. Now on At Disputed. Okay, yeah, we're not listening to your show. We're doing a show, buddy.
Yeah.
Clippers greater than Lakers. Yesterday, as the Lakers won. What do you have to say to that, Brady?
Clippers better than Lakers.
Clippers greater than Lakers.
Well, let me tell you something, Skip. Who's in the playoffs still? Who's still in the bubble? Talk about the Clippers being better than the Lakers, huh? We're not talking about when the season started and the Clippers got one on them. We're talking about playoff P. We're talking about your boy Kawhi, where they combined for less than 30 points in that last game. They gave up a 3-1 lead against a Denver Nuggets, which I doubt you even said anything about any of those boys. No, Lakers have so much talent. Clippers, what do you got? What do you got there? You got Kawhi Leonard, okay, like the guy, but they think bringing in Paul George, playoff P. Dude was shooting brick after brick after brick, like I said earlier, in the playoffs. And his name's Playoff P? That's what you guys coined him? No. Clippers are trash. I don't even know why this guy still got a show going, but keep it going. What's the next one, Mike?
No, what do you have to say after that?
What do I have to say after that? Bedtime, old man.
That's right. Oh, man. Let's see. Well,
I mean, didn't he call the game?
Think score, Jimmy Butler, enough driving and kicking.
Didn't he call the game the other night? Saying, what the hell was it? I know it's on Twitter.
I don't know. He loves Tyler Hero, though. He's all fucking about Tyler Hero.
That's fine because I that's something I will agree with him on.
Keeps calling it my hero.
No, he called an NFL game. He called the Seahawks-Patriots game right before that last drive, and he said, New England win. What the hell did he say? What did he say? It was on there. He literally said, Patriots win.
Yep.
Cam Newton for MVP, something like
Cam's
that.
2-0 or something.
Cam's 2-0. Bedtime, old man. Stuffed on the goal line.
2 days, or in game 3, he goes, Bron's got this.
Bron's got this?
That was when the Nuggets won.
I'm sorry.
Denver is done.
Jamal Murray. He's calling that after he's already seen 2 series go 3-1 and Denver's coming up big. That's a hot take.
Come on, where's Ravens greater than Chiefs? Well, he may be right.
I agree with him on that.
Although I think he's just saying that to slag my team a little bit. Where's the one where he said it about New England is 2-0, Cam, early MVP candidate?
Yeah, bedtime, old man. I mean, Jesus Christ. That's one of those things where you do not call that. You do not call it that early. Not to say that the Seahawks defense, at least goal line, is the best. But
that's right, Skip. We're coming for you.
Do not. I mean that. I know this guy's all about hot takes. He's more about like.
That's fine. That's fine. The more hot takes we get, the more I'm just gonna sick Brady on his ass.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Do we got anything else?
I don't think so.
Is that gonna wrap her up, boys? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to another rousing edition of Long Shot Sportscast. Kick it back here with me, Mike Holm, Monday for Mondays with Mike numero tres, somewhere between the hours of 8 and 11. I have not chosen yet. You can bet I'll probably have coffee in hand. And we're going to break down all the results of week 3 of the NFL. I'll preview some Thursday night. I don't want to touch that Thursday night game, but you know what I mean. I'll be here, and you better be here too, because it's going to be a good one. Take it easy, guys.
Have a good one.